Hey, 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 it's Tia, baby. And I am back with another video. So today I am feeling under the weather. So I'm recuperating from that. But I will give you guys my opinion about the new Lucille Ball movie, Being the Ricardos. I said I would give you a video about that. So I'm just gonna get right into it. The movie was good, was great. I did like the movie. Even though I know, I know enough about Lucy and Desi off screen, but I learned more things about her through that movie. Well, about them, and they remind me a lot of she reminds me a lot of myself when I'm around people that I'm comfortable with. And their relationship kind of reminds me of my relationship that yeah. So, first I'm going to talk about the obvious, which is the characters the actors that played the, Lucy, Desi, Fred, and Ethel. Now I'm gonna start with Ethel. So the person that played Ethel, I did not think she looked like her. I think she was a lot slimmer, a lot trimmer than Vivian Vance. Now, it was said that, Vivian Vance was, and I think I read that before, that she was she looked too beautiful to be Ethel Mertz and to, be married to William Frawley, aka Fred Mertz. So she had to gain weight to make her look older. And that's fine, whatever. But I still didn't capture the essence of Ethel Mertz when I saw her. I believe the person that should have played Ethel Mertz should have been Bernadette Peters. If you don't know who Bernadette Peters is, she played one of the stepdaughters on the Rodgers and Hammerstein movie Cinderella, the one with Brandy and Whoopi Goldberg in it. Yeah, I think she gives me an essence of Ethel Mertz. Now I don't know how old she is, and I'm sure makeup does wonders because Nicole Kidman is 54 years old. I mean, yeah. So anyway, so I think that's who should have played Ethel Mertz. The person who should have played Fred Mertz, the guy that played him in this movie, he needed to gain more weight. I mean, he was too slim for Fred Mertz to be played by him. Like, he was too slim. He got the bald head and the white man in the old age on down pat, but the weight kind of like threw me off. It was like Fred Mertz was on Weight Watchers or something. So I think the perfect person should have been Ned Beatty, but I think he passed away before the movie. But I don't know when the movie actually was produced, but he died in June 13th, 2021. So he just died like about 7 months ago. But he would have been a perfect Fred Mertz. He looked just like him. If you don't know who he is, he's from Roseanne. He played the show Roseanne. He played Dan Connor's father, like estranged father. I'll have pictures of these people. Okay, so Desi Arnaz. The person that played Desi Arnaz, I will say he did an awesome job voice-wise. He nailed it, voice-wise. Look-wise, to me, he reminds me of Italian crime mob. One of them. He remind me of them. The mobsters from the Italian, that's what he give me. He give me Don Corleone, not Don Corleone, but he just give me Italian mobster. That's what he gives me. He doesn't give me Desi Arnaz, but his voice, yes. But he's not Cuban. He's Spaniard, so I guess he's from Spain. But he nailed it. I mean, he don't look like him, no. Nor does he look Hispanic, but he's not really Hispanic. Well, I don't know. He is, but then he isn't. He's Spaniard, so yeah. But he speaks Spanish. He speaks Spanish. But a little but I think like a different, like he speaks the Spanish thing. Now, I'm sorry my voice is a little messed up. Like I said, I'm recuperating. So, what is it? Who else is left? Nicole Kidman. Horrible decision. She looked like Lucille Ball if Lucille Ball was going through cosmetic surgery. Like, she looked like she went under the knife. Well, Nicole Kidman looks like she went under the knife because Nicole Kidman was a pretty woman. And then as she got older, then she got trapped in the Hollywood life and started injecting her face with stuff. Now she looked like a clown. And that's what she looked like when she played Lucy. Like, her voice, down packed, yes. She was slim like Lucy, tall like Lucy, but the face, no. She just looked like she looked like a drag queen playing Lucille Ball. Like, I'm sorry, but that's what I got from her. I really was hoping that Deborah Messing would have played her because she looks the closest to Lucille Ball and she acts like Lucy. That's the thing. She acts just like Lucy. And I said this year, like a decade before this movie, before even Deborah Messing played her in the Grace in her TV show. I said this years ago that I was like, every time I see Deborah Messing, she reminds me of Lucille Ball. And when I used to watch her TV show, I forgot the name of it. She just gave me Lucy essence and essence of Lucy. And from what I read that Lucy's kids are, producing this movie. Why didn't they choose Deborah? Because she was there when Deborah Messing did the vitamin Vegemin. It's so, Yeah, she was there when she did that episode and she cried because she said it just looked like she was looking at her mom. So but then I read a little bit of the article. She didn't want anybody to look like Lucy, her parents, when in this movie. I'm like, that's ass backwards. Why not? I mean, that's another way you capture the essence of the people that you're playing. But that's just my opinion. It kind of it didn't take away the story as a whole, no, because I did enjoy it. But that's all you can think about when you watch it. It's like they could have just had better people to play the famous couple. That's all, because it just kind of, it threw it off a little bit, but not like that. But I didn't know that Lucy was a potty mouth like that. She was a potty. I didn't even know people back then really cussed like that because it was always so, conservative back then. Like, you couldn't say this, you couldn't show this. And it's like every time when you hear shows or advertisements back then, that it just sounds so uniformed. And like they was just always uptight back then. But I think that's just on camera, but off camera, they was just like us, like everybody else. They converse like everybody else, say loosely words like everybody else. It's just that slang was probably different than it is today, but they were just like everybody else when the cameras were off. And what I say that is because she was, being very vulgar and very blunt with what her and her husband was doing. And especially around the time when they were trying to get her to show her pregnancy on camera. Yeah, so it was just it was a must see. I think if you haven't seen it, go see it. Just try to ignore the characters, because they did do an awesome job delivering their craft. You just have to look beyond the physical and just pay attention to the dialogue. But it was a great movie, and I really enjoy it, and it really is unfortunate that, Desi could not keep it in his pants. I mean, I could understand why he cheated. It wasn't that he didn't love her. He loved Lucy to death. But he came from an era and also an area where the man was the head of the household, and he's from a different culture, so he's not used to hold on. He's not used to, the woman, being the breadwinner, or, being a working woman that is in the limelight. And it's like when he's with her, she's like the one everybody gushes over. She's like the forefront. So that's why he likes to be travel. That's why he likes to tour and travel with his band, because that's the one thing that makes him feel like a man, that makes him feel like he's, the king of the castle. That's when everyone is falling all over him. Like, all the women was, fondling on him. And, men, they like that. That's the testosterone in them. They just like that attention. But when he's with Lucy, he loses that because she is a well-known actress. So, when he cheats, it's not because he's trying to hurt her. I'm not making excuses for him. It's more of an ego thing. And it's more of like when I cheat on these women because, I cheat with these women because they make me feel like a man. They make me feel like they need me. Whereas though he feel like Lucy doesn't need him because she has her own thing. She's independent. She, even though she does need him, and she enjoyed being his wife and wanted to serve him. Well, that's how they were back then anyway. She wanted to be that typical housewife and that, love interest in his life, but she also didn't want, to lose herself or feel like she has to depend on him with everything. Like she has a mind of her own. But she did yearn her husband. She wanted him around, but she also wanted him to not feel like he was nothing when he's around her. It wasn't like he didn't want to be around her. It's just that's how he felt when he was around her because of her stardom. And so his ego was, messed up. So that caused him to cheat because he felt it make him feel, like a man. And it's no justification. That's just the explanation of it. That's just why he did it. He wasn't maliciously trying to hurt her. It was more of an ego thing. And that's just why men are so, ugh. But yeah. So I learned a lot about that. And, unfortunately they didn't last because I saw the actual episode, the last episode of the Lucy Desi Comedy Hour, where I think she filed for divorce around that time. So you could see the tears in their eyes and that last kiss that they did. There was the end. It was the end, but it wasn't the end per se. It was just the end of a era, but they still remained friends and they still loved each other. She said she will always love Desi until the day she dies. He always said I Love Lucy was never just a title. So, I mean, they really deeply love each other. It's just the connection was clouded by egos, you know, by the media, by Hollywood, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, I would like to think that they're together in heaven, you know, rekindling their love. I know they both remarried after, you know, their divorce, but I really feel like their love was strong and they still were in love with each other. They just didn't know how to be with each other on earth. Like maybe this wasn't the time to be with each other. I don't know, but I just would like to think that that they're together in heaven, you know, rekindling their love. No diss to, you know, the spouses that they remarried to. But in reality, once Lucille Ball passed away, her second husband remarried. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. But yeah, if you haven't checked out the movie Being the Ricardos on Amazon Prime, check it out. It's great. All right. Sorry for the scratchy voice and all of that. I am recovering and I will come back with another video soon. Peace.